Well, if you'd like to dream big, go to Chili's in a matching sweatsuit with whoever you dine with.
Mm-hmm.
It worked well for us.
I feel like
specifically on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we had a Valentine's Day matching sweatsuit.
done.
Welcome to the Snack Show with Jami Fallon.
We're just a couple gals snacking our way through life and talking about it.
This is your first time in a podcast studio?
I just laid the snack down is what I'm saying. Jami, why in the HE double pretzel sticks did we start a podcast?
That's a great question that I don't remember the answer to.
Hey, snackers!
Hola!
Okay, you might be wondering if you're on video, what is happening? Why
are Jami and Fallon snuggling?
So close? We're snuggling. Well, we have a surprise for you. Sometimes there's technical difficulties on a podcast, but we do not make that stop us.
In the year of our Lord 2023, we will press on.
Yes, we will forge ahead. We have our good friend, Michael Ornelas.
Hello.
From the Fine Dining, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America, y'all. This is big, big news. Michael, will you say hi to our friends?
Hello, friends.
He is in our earbuds, loud and clear. I feel like a reporter, honestly, like an infield reporter.
I'm having a crisis because AirPods don't stay in my tiny eardrum, so I'm going to just keep doing this like I'm...
a little Mariah Carey.
Yeah, like I'm Mariah Carey, and it's Christmas time, guys.
I wanted to give you all the toughest recording experience possible. Actually, I wanted to give you the most mediocre one to be my brand.
Sure.
But I think I'm falling short.
You gotta stay on brand. No, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
We're doing great.
Well, Michael, we are so excited to have you. Obviously, our worlds collided because of the love of food and snacking and
in the podcasting world.
And really mediocre. I mean, the way we talk, it's not anything fancy. Snacks are welcome.
Food of the people.
Food of the people. We are very humble. So we are excited to share our experiences. Michael, tell us more about fine dining and your search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. How did this passion start? Tell us more.
I mean, honestly, I bought a GoPro camera in 2016, and I was at an Outback Steakhouse with a buddy of mine, and I was like, what if we attached these to our heads, documented the chain restaurant experience, and then rated them on a scale of 4 to 6 because that's what they deserve. And that friend promptly was like, no, that's stupid. So I sat on the idea for another 6 years, found another friend. He was my co-host for the first season. Now I'm launching season 2, and it's a solo endeavor as I'm out there just trying to hit literally every chain restaurant that has some sort of national presence. I'm 40 plus episodes deep, depending on when this comes out, and
sure.
It's killing me.
Physically, emotionally, mentally,
all of the above. I mean, especially physically. You know, my eye twitches more than it used to. My fingers go numb. You know.
Sure. So we really have to thank Outback Steakhouse for the inspiration.
Yeah, a GoPro and Outback is really how every good dream starts. So,
and probably how at least a few lives have ended.
Surely. Now tell us, was there a bloomin' onion involved?
So I am on record as saying that the bloomin' onion is the pinnacle of chain restaurant food. I think it is the best appetizer you're going to find at any of these places. Has no business being near mediocrity. Other than just like conceptually. It's conceptually just like a what are we doing with our lives kind of idea. But, you know, yeah, I love the bloomin' onion.
It's part of the American dream is really what I think it is.
It's so American.
Well, that's the funny thing. It's the American dream, and we're talking Outback.
Right.
Which, can we claim that? I don't think we can.
I mean, we absolutely can. There is no authentic Australian-ness to Outback. It is America's idea of Australia.
I would love for every Australian that lives in America to raise their hand if they've been to an Outback, and I don't think many hands are going up.
No.
Unless they've been,
Michael,
unwillingly dragged there.
Sure.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've only been to an Outback once in my entire life. And I can't even promise you that I had a bloomin' onion.
I think you owe it to yourself to go have one, but I'm not going to scold you. Until I did this podcast, I had only been inside of an Applebees one time. So.
Oh, there you go. And I love Applebees. Now, I could talk Applebees all day long. Is that one of your top visits, would you say?
well, it's one of my most, it is my actual definitively most middling visit. It is currently the record holder for mediocrity. It's at a 5.02 out of 10. So
yes,
I can fine tune a little more and find a place that may be a little bit more mediocre, but it's going to take a heavy hitter to dethrone Applebee's.
Is Chili's above or below Applebee's? Because we did a really big Applebee's versus Chili episode.
Oh, I listened to your Applebee's versus Chili's episode.
What did you think? Did you agree?
Well, I mean, didn't you come out, I think, Jami, you picked 50-50 on like which dish you would rather have. Did you declare a winner? I
declared Chili's for me. I think we both did. We?
I think overall we declared Chili's was probably the winner, but nostalgia purposes for me personally, Applebee's won.
So I grew up on Chili's. I'm actually I spent a large part of my childhood in Austin, Texas, where there's just a ton of Chili's around, and there was one right down the street from me. I love me a Chili's. If I had to pick a winner, it would be Chili's. That said, for the podcast, I haven't done Chili's yet. I'm saving it for a special occasion. I don't know if it'll be episode 50, episode 100.
Sure.
I have no idea, but I don't want to show my hand too early on Chili's.
Sure.
Well, if you'd like to dream big, go to Chili's in a matching sweatsuit with whoever you dine with. Mm-hmm. It worked well for us.
I feel like
specifically on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we had a Valentine's Day matching sweatsuit.
Done.
Okay, Michael, I want to know. I know you said you've been to almost 40. I want to know your top 3 most mediocre places you visited and some highlights of dishes from each of these restaurants. Can you give that to us?
Okay, so I'm going to cheat a little. I'm not going to go by the numbers, because if I'm going by the numbers, I would just give you the 3 that are closest to center. I've got this giant scoreboard behind me that I'll send you guys a picture that you can post on your video feed. But I've got a giant wall tchotchke called the Tchotchke of Mediocrity, and it's got like all the wall tchotchkes you would find at these places, a boomerang, a Hooters fanny pack, a surfboard, blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
And right in the middle of it, you've got that like big star that says 5.0. So closest to center are Applebee's, Waffle House, and I guess I can't read.
He's looking at the board right
Bob's
now.
Big Boy. But
Bob's Big Boy.
Don't get me started on Bob's. The ranking for that was so biased. We went with my mom, who had a ton of nostalgia for it, and she really like pumped up the rating. It should be lower. I'm gonna go on record and say I don't have a lot of love for Bob's. I think it's a below mediocre place.
Okay, well let's start there. What about Bob? Was it the food? You're just like, this is trash? Was it the ambiance? What are you scoring on, by the way?
So
what is your scoring
or is it
system?
more than that?
It's the atmosphere, the service, and the food. So service is a big X factor, because you can have a server that's like awful and tank your experience, or vice versa. You could have really bad food, but someone with a great smile hands it to you, and you're like, but I like you.
Sure.
Bob's, we did probably have one of the worst servers that we've had. He was like just weirdly like just snubbing the entire table. He had all the tables around us, and he would do like 5 visits at each of them before coming over to us. To be fair, I had like a pencil mustache and a beret on because I stood outside for like an hour and a half and made a painting of the restaurant beforehand. And then my mom, who also painted it with me, also had a pencil drawn mustache and a beret on, so we looked creepy.
Sure.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't visit your table as often either, just for safety.
I feel like we're more fun, but that's that's my read on it.
Right.
But I don't know. The food has not really done anything for me. They don't have anything that's like a standout. We actually went back. I did a Septemburger tournament, and I went to 8 different burger places to crown a winner. And Bob's had another chance. Still didn't really do it for me. But if there's any mediocre place I want to highlight, it's Olive Garden.
Okay. I'm Italian, so
AKA where I celebrated my birthday several years in a row in middle school.
Let's talk.
So I want to talk Olive Garden because it was also only my second time in an Olive Garden when I went for the podcast. And
Okay.
I was so inspired by it that I ended up making a 7-song musical about that night at Olive Garden.
Does that exist for the public to
Yes.
consume?
Where do we find this?
That is the Olive Garden episode of the Fine Dining podcast.
Okay, great.
So-
Can't wait.
7 original songs, and I sent back their calamari. I thought that was bad.
Oh no! What did you say? Were you like, it's too?
You're like, when
It
we're
was too
here, we're
rubbery.
family, and I don't want it.
It was kind. It was
rubbery.
kind of inedible, like texturally inedible, and we're just like, we're not touching it. So like, we took a few bites. We're not going to eat more. Let's just see if they'll take it off the check. And they did. They were fine about it. So
It is a real close journey to tires, their calamari.
Yeah. But it does come with a nice dipping of marinara.
Yeah,
and
but if you dip it,
So if you
Alfredo,
dip a
you don't even
tire-
notice.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Okay, what did you get at Olive Garden?
So
besides the rubbery calamari.
I got God, this was so long ago. I think it was like the pasta marinara with the crispy chicken fritter on top.
Ooh.
And the chicken was actually, for a chain restaurant, I was impressed by it. And let's see, we got the calamari, the breadsticks.
Did you do bottomless salad and breadsticks?
Not salad. I did do the soup. I got a minestrone that I actually quite liked.
Okay.
The
Their salad
breadsticks.
is
Their
so
salad
good.
is so good. I can't believe you didn't.
You
do
can
the
buy that
salad.
dressing
There's only
to take
so
home
much
for yourself.
space in my stomach, okay? Calamari, breadsticks, dipping sauce, which they charge extra for, and we wrote a song about corporate greed for charging you for the sauce, but the breadsticks are free.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Now I'm looking at the menu now. I'm noticing they have something quite fancy, in my opinion, lasagna fritta, which means fried lasagna. Please tell me you tried this.
Okay, so I'm about to get blackballed from your podcast with my next admission.
No. Okay, our seatbelts are on.
I don't like cheese.
I have a friend I'd like you to meet. That's what I have to say because I have a friend that hates cheese. You guys could be best friends.
Is it a girl? Mm-hmm. Are you single, Michael?
I am not single, but
Oh,
bummer.
terrible news.
no,
but a
no,
great
no.
friend.
But my girlfriend likes cheese, so I can just give the cheese to her when there is cheese. So.
Oh, that's a great plan.
That's
She
actually a
loves
great.
that, I'm sure.
That's a great couple.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
what we call mofo you here at the pod. You just can really pass it along to the next person.
Right. What about the cheese? What about cheese? What is it? Is it smell?
So-
what
Okay.
is it? Your stomach?
This is gonna sound so dramatic. I had like traumatic incidents as a kid, and by that I just mean I got grossed out a couple times by cheese in like a way that just
Sure.
stuck with me. But my brother used to microwave bags of like cheddar cheese to pour on steamed broccoli, and it was just the most pungent smelling thing. I would come home from school and just like the entire house would reek. And then my parents would sometimes make those boxed au gratin potatoes. And like the ones from
Those
the
are-
box,
those will-
like those are going to be awful. So just those were I could smell them from upstairs in my room, and they bothered me. And I was just like, I swear off of cheese. I don't like cheese. It's gross. I stopped eating Doritos from that moment on. But like, I know it's psychological because I ate Doritos and liked them. I still eat pizza and just overlook the fact that there's cheese on it.
Sure.
That said, I don't like pizza that is like too cheesy, but like it's like the one thing
Yeah.
that got grandfathered in is pizza.
I'm glad to
Wow.
hear that. I would be sad to hear a lot.
Okay, so I feel shocked that you want to highlight an Italian restaurant when you don't like cheese.
It's more that when you write a musical about something, it obviously stood out to you in some regard.
Yeah.
So the fact that, I mean, it wasn't a great experience, but I mean, if the podcast has taught me anything, if a place is terrible, it also gives me something to talk about. So I no longer mind going to a restaurant and having it be underwhelming or disappointing or anything like that.
I get it. Now, are we going to get any sampling of this musical live on the Snack Show podcast? Michael?
You can say no, Michael. Don't let her peer pressure
Here's the
you
thing.
if you do not want to.
Michael!
Hold on. So here's the thing. One, I brought in some singers that are way better singers than I am to like guest star.
Okay. Sure.
And 2, this was like over a year ago, so it's just not fresh in my memory. If it was fresh in my memory, I would absolutely.
You would 5, 6, 7, 8 that.
Oh, you betcha! I'd have a cane and a top hat, and I would do a number.
Okay. So my Olive Garden, the really important thing I'd like to know if you tried is the tour of Italy.
The tour of Italy, I did not try.
There's a lot of cheese on the tour of Italy.
It is chicken parmesan, spaghetti, and lasagna, because that was my go-to in middle school because I got to order a thing, but I got 3 things for that one thing.
That sounds obscene. Like,
so
that's too much.
It's my birthday, and I can have 3. I can have a whole
And she
tour
can eat
of
if she wants
Italy
to.
if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you'd never said, what did the score get? What did Olive Garden get
So
on the
Olive
mediocrity
Garden
score?
ended up at 5.10. And at the time, it was only episode 7 of the podcast. So at the time, that was by far the closest to mediocrity. The first few episodes, we were just missing the mark entirely. Like Outback got over a 7, Buffalo Wild Wings got under a 4. Old Spaghetti Factory got over a 6. So it took us a while to hone in on mediocrity, and then Olive Garden just came slamming in, and we just were like, let's make a little razzmatazz about this. Let's,
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, I know we're focusing on the mediocrity, but I am curious, what's the high-scoring restaurant?
Yeah, what's the highest and the lowest score?
Okay,
I'd
so
like to know both.
They're related. Actually, that's not true.
Okay.
But there is a low one that is related.
He's just lying.
I'm lying. Like comedy. Like joking. So have you heard of Sizzler?
Of course.
100%.
So
course.
Sizzler, awful. Not the worst we've been to, but we were so fed up with that bad steak that we decided to go to Mastro's Steakhouse, which is like a top tier, like it was hundreds of dollars that bill. But we were just like, I need good food. So I went to Mastro's, bit the bullet, and that's at a 9.45 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
And then the worst, where are you guys based out of?
We're in Nashville, Tennessee.
You're in Nashville. Do you know Mr. Gaddy's Pizza?
No.
Never heard of her.
So,
Or him.
I think they have locations in Kentucky, but they're basically a Texas chain, and they have expanded kind of in your direction. There might be one in Tennessee. But they're just a pizza place. I grew up on them, but they have 5 locations called Gaddy Town, and it's like a sad attempt at mixing like Chuck E. Cheese with a Dave & Buster's, but it doesn't know if it wants to be for kids or not. Bad cafeteria overhead, fluorescent lighting. Pudding shouldn't look gray on a buffet line, but it did here. That is the lowest rating.
Oh, Mr. Gaddy's. We're looking at a map here, and there's one, it looks like, to the west of us.
There's one in Kentucky, northwest of us, and then there's a couple in East Tennessee. But
road trip.
Unfortunately, not one. Yeah,
I might need to try it.
A road trip for the worst thing you've ever had.
Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we would like it. Obviously, someone likes it if Mr. Gaddy's is still around.
Okay, but what like Chuck E. Cheese is it?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How is it like Chuck E. Cheese?
You said it's like a Dave & Buster's.
They have,
so there's
an
like
arcade.
Activities.
Yeah, there's not like a mascot or anything, which honestly, I don't know what they could do for a mascot with the name like Gaddy. It just it just doesn't lend itself.
An Italian man.
Yeah, just an Italian guy like holding his hands up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mostly wanted to know, is there anything animatronic and is there skee ball?
There is.
Those 2 things would
There is skee ball.
get me on a road trip.
There is not an animatronic.
Okay.
See, the animatronics honestly were my favorite part. I was very fascinated by that Chucky animatronic.
So
I loved it.
I went to Chuck E. Cheese for the podcast, and I took my then 13-year-old. I mean, I call her my niece. She's my second cousin, but whatever.
Yeah.
Sure. But I was like, yeah, if I'm going to Chuck E. Cheese, I have to show up with a kid, or it's weird.
Yeah. Yep.
And they didn't have animatronics.
Yeah, they've pulled a lot of them in the last decade or so.
It was like
it's not as
it was like a projector
the
with
digital
Chuck
age
E.
has ruined
YouTube
it.
videos.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's not the same.
It's certainly not.
Okay, I'm sad. All right, I have to ask you something.
Hit me.
One of my favorite restaurants on the planet is mediocre at best.
Sure.
We would probably say. I'm looking at
She's
Jami
giving
to
it
see.
a higher score than I'm going to give
Yeah.
you, Michael.
And I'm just curious if it has made your search list, and if not, I think you need to add it ASAP. Have you been to the oh so glorious Long John Silver's?
No, not yet. It is in my sphere of awareness of restaurants that I will do. I actually looked it up the
Yes.
other week to see where the closest one to me is. It might be a
Have you been to
while,
one
but
before?
I don't know. So
Okay, I'm excited for you. I'm excited. Don't listen to the chatter around it, Michael. I want you to come in with your own perspective, your own excitement, and be fulfilled, as I think you will be.
I wish that it was not in my sphere of awareness, is what I wish.
Jami really hates it. I really love it.
I'll say this. I think I have been, but I don't think I ate any of the things that people would get because I went when I was a kid and I didn't start eating anything that was like seafood until, I don't know, 5 years ago. I was a very picky eater and I've really
Oh, Michael,
expanded
don't
my
let
horizons.
that stop you.
Fallon?
No. Don't let that stop
Fallon
you.
eats chicken from
my
there.
favorite thing on the menu is the chicken. That's what I go
That's
for.
probably what I got then.
I'm telling you,
What are they
forget
called?
KFC and
Plank-
Popeyes.
plank
They're called
tendies?
planks.
Oh, planks, just planks.
And I'm just saying, forget your regularly known chicken fried places. I'm telling you, the secret best fried chicken, Long John Silver's.
Well, have you
here.
had Dave's hot chicken?
Who's Dave? And no.
Oh, I'm looking on their website. They don't have one in Tennessee. I mean, it is a
All these places.
it's a Nashville hot chicken style
started
place.
here.
I know.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
can I give you a fun fact about Nashville style hot chicken?
Please.
So, Nashville style hot chicken. I'm actually going to look up the guy's name. Give me
Started at Prince's?
Give me 14 seconds.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, Chicago's
4.
the closest Dave's.
All right, I needed less than that.
Oh, great.
I'm sorry. Did you say Prince's?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That was the name I was looking up. So,
Great.
Yeah, I was trying to help you.
do you know the origin of like how the hot chicken came to be?
I do. I have heard the story. I wonder if we're thinking of the same story. It's a girlfriend was trying to get back at her boyfriend.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
She like super
Tell the
spiced
people,
up
though.
his.
Tell the people.
Okay, Nashville hot chicken, invented in the 1930s. Thornton Prince was a womanizer who's, I have it on my sources that she was his wife, but you say girlfriend.
Okay.
I don't know which one is true.
Wife is probably better.
But
Love her.
She finally had enough one night after she caught him cheating. As revenge, she made a super spicy version of the fried chicken that he loved, hoping to trick him into burning his taste buds, but she failed because he actually loved the taste. They broke up, and then he
Loved
got
it.
rich bringing that recipe public.
Now, that's where I have questions is why did she give him the recipe?
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe he just
And how would he know
cross-engineered
how
it.
to make it?
Maybe he just like
Maybe,
dug through
maybe.
the trash and he just found, oh, these are the peppers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever come to Nashville, you can come to Prince's because
Yes.
it's still here.
Is it good?
People love it. I personally don't do spicy, so I don't like hot chicken, but people rave about it.
I have eaten a raw ghost pepper before, so we are different, you and I.
Whoa.
It wasn't
Yeah.
fun.
Fallon sometimes thinks pepper's too spicy.
It is.
Oh, like just like
Don't
So-
get me wrong.
table pepper,
Just like-
shake pepper?
Yeah,
Yes.
table pepper,
yeah.
too much.
Uh-huh.
That's
Ow.
very funny.
Okay, can we do a pivot to one of the top 3 most mediocre you mentioned we haven't talked about, Waffle House?
Yeah.
Now, I would guess from all my Waffle House experiences that the score would be food not great, but personnel service outstanding.
You're kind.
Did you have a different experience?
Yes, I did.
Oh, no.
But here's here's the thing. Waffle House has such a small menu. It's waffles, it's
Sure.
eggs, bacon, sausage, and it's hash browns.
Smothered, covered, and buttered, or whatever.
Yeah.
What is it? Is that the list?
They do like 6 things. I feel that they do them well enough. I was impressed by the food there, but not in a way where it's like, oh, you gotta have Waffle House. But I had low expectations, and I've found that expectations being totally surpassed really biases how you view it. So I am biased into liking Waffle House because it surpassed my low expectations. My server was like... kind of like seemed like, not actually saying he was this, but seemed like a stoner kid who was moving at like the most middling pace possible to where he was always working but never working quickly.
Sure. He was moving in his head, but
you were getting
really.
the correct Waffle House experience.
And then the environment was chaos because it was midnight the Saturday before last year's Halloween. And
well, I was just going to ask, what time did you go? And you went at the right exact time.
Yeah. So many, just everyone there was in a costume. It was absolute chaos. Me and my then co-host came in with notebooks because we're always, taking notes of the restaurants that we're in. And I'm pretty sure management thought we were health inspectors because he started yelling at all the other employees to like pick up the work and started cleaning stuff up.
Gosh. Maybe that should be your new shtick. Like you dress up as a health inspector in every restaurant you go and you'll just get complete upgraded service.
So you mean
But then you're not getting the true mediocre experience.
Sure. You say fraud, I say, hey, Halloween year round.
I will say, when I went to Outback, it was the first and one of very few places where they very distinctly noticed that they were being reviewed. And the manager kind of came over to like check in and like, how's everything doing? And I could see him like angling his head so that his eye line could be parallel with the page that I was writing.
With the notes.
And
Just trying to cheat.
I asked him like, oh, we got our bloomin' onion, but there's no like plates. Could we get plates, please? And he like is like, oh yeah, right away. Turns around and like in a way that you would only see in like a sitcom. I don't think he like hit himself in the head, but he went stupid. And I don't know if he was referring to himself or his server, but
oh my god!
No. Hopefully himself. Let's just.
But
think
either
it's
way,
himself.
that's so sad.
We did get a different
it
server
is.
from that point forward, though. We didn't ask for it, but our server did change.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're based out of California.
Yes.
How much traveling are you having to do to visit these places? Because I grew
Great
up on the West
question.
Coast, and I know that there's just a lot of things that exist here in the South that I didn't know about till I lived in Nashville.
So there are a lot of chains that exist in other parts of the country that have like one location somewhere within a drivable range for me. Like there have been certain ones that really surprised me. There's a place called Freddy's Frozen Custard that a buddy of mine in Kansas really loves. And there's one in Victorville, which is like it's a bit of a drive, probably 2 to 2.5 hours for me, but that's still closer than having to travel to Kansas. That said, I have done a week in Austin, Texas. I've done a few restaurants in New York City that are coming up. And
Nice.
I was in Boston a couple weeks ago and decided to hit Friendly's. I don't know if you guys know Friendly's.
Never been to Friendly's.
I've heard of it, but I've never been.
So, and then I've gone up to like San Francisco several times. So my plan is to eventually like, I want to go to different parts of the country and try all their stuff and all that. So slowly but surely,
I love it.
But there's a lot here.
And so on your show, do you focus on one restaurant per episode and you just kind of give a review of your experience? You talk about the food,
Yes.
the service,
Yeah.
the ambiance, probably some funny stories here and there.
Honestly, it's way more centric about the funny stories. The food review is kind of just a part of it, but
Sure.
yeah, a breakdown of the atmosphere.
I love
I like to paint it this way. I'm changing the format up for season 2 to where I'm actually going to be doing 2 parts per episode. The first part will give you the history and background of the restaurant, and then the second will be here's what it's like to go to the place. So everything from
my goodness.
Stuff happening in the parking lot beforehand to what do you see in the lobby to what's on the walls, trying to paint a picture. A place can have its rating brought down based on unpleasant conversation of other tables, which isn't their fault, but they did attract that clientele, and that does speak to them a little bit. So
Sure. Well, I know our listeners will appreciate that because we have a whole history segment on our show usually when we talk about different snacks, just like where they came from, how did the business start. And so I love to hear that you'll be sharing some good
Yeah,
history.
you
Fallon's
gotta know
our
your
pod
roots.
historian.
You gotta know.
Yeah, and then I'll go into
well,
like silly little like audio drama segments. Like if something inspires me, there's a lot of like skits and sketches. Like we had chairs that were really, really heavy at Johnny Rockets, like inexplicably heavy. Don't know why, but we.
I know exactly the chairs you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those metal with the like squishy top. Yep.
Yeah, and we just like theorized like, is it an anti-theft measure? And then I decided, okay, I'm going to make an audio drama that's basically an Ocean's 11 skit of trying to like steal these chairs. So there's a lot of stuff like that in the podcast as well.
How fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right, snackers, you've got to head over to the show. This just sounds like a ball of fun. Obviously, Michael is approved on our end, so
Heck
make sure
yeah.
you check out his show, subscribe, follow, all the things. Before we leave, Michael,
Yes.
we like to do a really fun segment on our show, and we're so glad you're here for it because it's time for Snack of the Week. There's also music playing behind us right now.
Hold
You
on,
can
hold on,
hear
hold
it
on.
now.
I'm gonna say snack of the week and then take that audio and plug it into when you guys said snack of the week, so it sounds like we were
Okay.
all in it together, or just leave
Okay,
this
perfect.
part in and make me sound silly. Either one. Throw me under the bus if
We'll
you
let
want.
our editor choose and post.
Yeah.
So you do it. Okay, Michael, since you are our guest,
Yeah.
we want you to go first with your snack of the week.
So can I talk about two snacks?
Yes, but make sure you talk about the one we talked about.
Yes, of course.
Wait, did you guys do something beforehand?
We might have a surprise.
We
For me?
might have a
Yes.
surprise, but before we do that, I want to talk
like
about.
this at all.
I like letting the surprise simmer a little bit.
Sure.
Great. Even worse. Keep going.
So the surprise we have for you is something that I would eat nonstop during my like middle school, high school years, and also during that time, Chex Mix had a flavor that I would also eat all the time, and so I want to talk about both of them. One of them still exists, one of them does not.
Okay.
So the
Okay,
Chex
great.
Mix one does not exist anymore. But did either of you guys ever have Peanut Lovers Chex Mix?
No.
It had.
No, I think I've eaten Chex Mix once in my whole life.
I usually go for the bold flavor Chex Mix.
Bold's great. I love me a Bold, but
Mm-hmm.
Peanut Lovers, it had like actual like salted honey roasted peanuts in it, and it had the best like peanut powder dust on the corn Chex ever. It was one of my favorite snacks. The bag would smell terrible when you'd open it up. It would be like, oh, this
Oh, sure.
doesn't smell great,
Sure.
but it was so tasty. So I would have that all the time. But then the other thing that I would eat all the time that made you smell really bad, New York style garlic bagel crisps.
I'm bringing them out for Jamie to see. I got a 3-pack.
Oh, okay.
So you get one, I
Great.
get one, and our engineer Anthony can have one. Okay, we have them here. So you just tell us everything about these New York style bagel crisps.
Okay, so I'm going to not undercut myself entirely, but I loved these growing up, and then they made a change, and I haven't been able to find them in stores since that change. But they used to be like actual bagel chips that would have the little bagel hole in the middle of them. And just
wow,
something about the way it broke apart and made the texture was a little bit different than this. This feels like something you put out at a party, and it's meant for like a dip or something like that. The ones that I used to have, I'm really struggling. These bags are terrible. Like it's
Oh, we got ours open just
I got
fine.
mine open in one. I'm really strong. I work out so I can open up chip bags.
It's more that like whenever, at least in my experience, when I open this bag, I am tearing it down the front of its face. Like I'm never opening it where
Sure.
the crease actually is meant to be.
Sure.
I had a whole bag of, because I got the 3-pack as well. They only sell it in the 3-pack. So I had a whole bag of these yesterday to like pre-game for this.
Sure.
They are a lot saltier than I remember. So,
They're really good.
but
You know what I
Very
love
good.
these.
Is they're not too garlicky, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have enough of a hint of garlic that's like, ooh, yeah, a little garlic crisp, but it's not overwhelming where I'm like, oh my God, I need to brush my teeth ASAP.
Yeah. Is it?
They've also got some recipes on the back, and
It's
I
true.
appreciate that.
Cream cheese with tomato and basil. So just put a little cream cheese,
Cheese.
cut a little half a tomato, and then put basil in there. And then goat cheese and tapenade.
Tapenade.
Tapenade?
Tapenade.
Tapenade. Spread goat cheese on a bagel chip, which I love goat cheese. And tapenade is like, it could be like an olive, tomato,
Yeah.
maybe corn mixture.
They don't have anything for us that don't like cheese. I feel unseen.
You know what?
Do you know
I
what?
think some
Actually,
hummus.
this would
I
be-
think some hummus.
No. I just got the vegan buffalo dip from Trader Joe's.
Ooh,
You dip
that
these
could
in
be
those,
good.
and it's dairy free, so you're going to be into it.
Now,
Jamie, I'll let you know, when Michael told me this was going to be his snack of the week, he said, you got to go to Amazon fast because there's only one bag left, and I got the last 3-packer.
Wow, I'm really
Yeah.
proud of you, Fal.
dedication.
It's true. He said, you better go, and I went right there.
Do they sell these in stores anywhere?
I haven't found them in years, but when I do, it's like a thing where I'm just like, and I like go and I just
Yep.
hug all of them and put them all in my cart. I don't care how many it is.
Sure.
They're creating a scarcity mindset. Do you think you like them more because you can't find them anywhere?
They're forbidden fruit,
That's
yeah.
interesting. Yep, that's very interesting.
Now,
All right, well, thank you so much. We love this snack of the week. What were we going to say?
do your
Now what?
listeners like people eating into the mic, or should I be like away from the mic? I don't know what your.
We've never asked them.
Yeah, we've never asked permission. We just do it anyways.
So you do you. We'll talk about our snack of the week, and you just snack alongside us, okay?
Yeah, I got. I'm curious.
Okay, Jamie,
Yes, ma'am.
it is your turn. What is your snack of the week?
Okay. My snack of the week is a great one. And also, I'm here to start a campaign.
Okay, great.
So, my snack of the week is stuffing. We always call it Thanksgiving stuffing.
Sure.
So, we're inching towards Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
I recently posted in the stories on the snack show that the stuffing flavored chips from Trader Joe's are in.
Have you had those, Michael?
No stuffing
Oh
flavored
my
chips.
gosh.
Our
are-
Trader Joe.
Yeah, you
I'm
need to
right
run
around
to
the corner
Trader
from
Jo's.
one. Okay.
You need to run
go
today
now.
because they're a
seasonal.
limited
All right.
window.
They're seasonal.
Bye.
So you
I
gotta go.
also found last night. I bought 3 bags of those when I saw them. Then last night I had to run to Trader Joe's for one thing because I was cooking a meal, and I found stuffing flavored popcorn. I'm gonna bring it in
No.
for us.
Right.
No, that sounds
So-
like a texture that I don't want to mix with stuffing.
No, I'm ready.
No,
I'm
you're
so
in because
ready.
it's just the salt seasoning, like all the
Yeah.
flavors of stuffing, but on popcorn.
But on
You're gonna be
popcorn.
all the way in.
Huh.
But here's my campaign. Why do we call this Thanksgiving stuffing? Why can't I eat this in the month of March if I wanted to?
You do you.
You would be
Jamie.
shamed.
So
You would be shamed out of society.
And so that's my platform for running for president in 2024 is that stuffing should be eaten all year long.
Uh-huh. And the difference between stuffing and dressing is
One goes inside the turkey and one does not.
okay.
And
great.
stuffing goes inside
Yeah, 'cause
dressing.
you stuff.
Okay, so dressing all year long. But when I say stuffing, I mostly mean stovetop. So it's
Sure.
not going in any kind of bird ever anyways.
Yeah.
It's going in my microwave.
Yep.
So anyways, stuffing is my snack of the week.
I love it. Honestly, Michael, if you're not at Trader Joe's right now getting those chips,
And
I'm in
everyone
line.
else while you're there. Oh my gosh. While you're there, they also have just in their seasoning aisle a Thanksgiving stuffing the flavors. So you could put it on your own popcorn or your own chips if you wanted to.
So they're ready.
love that.
I'm stocked up for all things tasting
She
like
is.
Thanksgiving
She is.
stuffing forever and ever now.
I love stuffing.
Okay,
Such a great
Fal.
one.
What is your snack of the week?
Thank you so much for asking. We are staying seasonal with my snack of the week because my snack of the week, I said smack of the week, I meant snack of the week.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole different segment.
It's a whole, yeah.
smack.
Yeah,
Oh
smack
my
of the
gosh,
week.
what if we
Ooh,
did that
someone
with
that
the
we're mad at?
with the tortillas in the water?
Ooh, nice.
Let's try that, Fal. Okay. Anyways, what's your snack of the week?
My snack of the week is 2-ingredient pumpkin muffins. Have you guys heard of this?
What's the other ingredient?
Pumpkin
So
and
it's pumpkin puree and just any pumpkin spice cake or muffin mix.
Okay, so you're just
So
baking
you
pumpkin puree.
Yeah, so pretty much you're taking the powder of the whatever baking mix you're using. I use just like a Trader Joe's pumpkin. I think it's like a pumpkin bread / muffin mix. And you don't need to use any of the oil or the eggs that they tell you to use. You literally just pair it with a can of pumpkin puree, mix it together, 350, bake it for whatever, 5-8 minutes. The most perfect, moist, delicious pumpkin muffins.
Okay.
Sold.
And people will think you did like a whole lot in the kitchen, and you literally put two things together and mixed it around a little bit, and that was it.
How did you learn about this? Did you invent this?
I did not invent this. I don't know how I learned about it. I think maybe I had a friend that brought them once, and I was like, these are delicious. How do you make them? She's like, literally, it's 2 ingredients. And I was sold from that then on.
I should make my pumpkin dip,
Yes.
which is really just Cool Whip.
That could be
and
the frosting on top.
That's what I'm
so it's
saying. And
cupcakes.
you dip your muffin in the pumpkin dip.
Or we make it
'Cause
a
that's also-
pumpkin cupcake.
Yeah. It's the
Ooh.
consistency's a little, it's not quite so thick to be frosting for a cupcake, but we can figure
We
that
can
out.
make it.
It's really just Cool Whip and pumpkin butter,
Uh-huh.
and then a little bit of the pumpkin pie seasoning.
Ooh, love.
I just made some.
So, Michael, I don't know if you're a baker, but this could maybe put you on your girlfriend's nice list if you make her a bunch of these.
I am such a fan of low effort snacks. So when you
Same.
say 2 ingredients, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's too many for me. No. A whole one more than one. That's double.
Oh, man.
I don't mix. You have to mix it? I'm out.
I'm out. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for being on the podcast. We are so thankful to meet you, know you. I just feel like we're 3 peas in a pod with our love for snacks and food, and we're big fans of your show already. But listeners, if you haven't, go check out Fine Dining, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. Okay?
Thank you so much for having me. It was a delight.
Of course.
Thanks for letting me talk about all the dumb places I've been. Thanks for recommending me new dumb places.
Please let us know when you go to LJS, Long John Silver's.
Wow, you're like very
Fallon
comfortable with them.
is-
You're throwing the breeze.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Uh-huh,
I'm telling you.
She had our office take a limo ride to Long John Silver's.
It's true.
I need you to know that exists in the world.
The closest one was 45 minutes away, so the only way to get there had to be in a limo.
Hold on. I am going to look up my closest. Hold on. I'm looking up my closest Long John Silver's, followed by limo rates.
Rentals. Fallon would fly out in order to do that, would you?
I literally would.
All right.
I would go cross country to do this.
Look, if you'll do that, I'll have you on a Long John Silver's episode.
Okay, great. Wait, what's the closest one? Did you find it?
Gardena, which is like, I don't know, 40 minutes from me. I can do
I was
that.
gonna say that's not
Hey,
terrible.
worth
Yeah.
it. Worth
40
every
minutes
how
for
far
Los
we drove.
Angeles is like my next door
We
neighbor.
Yeah, we drove 40 minutes for one, the closest to us. So same.
and it was glorious. I think I cried actually on that trip. Okay, Michael.
I did for very different reasons.
Yeah, we both cried for very different reasons. Okay, Michael, we'll talk soon. Good luck on the show, and can't wait to talk more snacks with you soon.
Thank you. Have a good one.